Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Speak on That podcast, and I'm your host, Darius Silver, aka Mr. GQ. Back for another conversation, back for another important topic, an extremely important topic, and welcome back. So I'm gonna get straight into it. Whoa! What are you doing? You forgetting to hit the subscribe button? Stop it! What are you doing? You watching the Speak on That podcast, and you watching your host, Darius Silver, aka Mr. GQ, give you some unbelievable content. What are you doing? I need you to subscribe right now. Check out my social media platforms that you see on the screen, Facebook, Instagram, and this platform, YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you continue to tune in and watch the full episode. Come on now. This is the Speak On Now podcast, where we're inspiring others to speak up and do better. Come on now, subscribe. Come on, subscribe. All right, let's get you back to the full episode. Boom to it. If you're ready for today's episode, stay with me. Let's ride. So, this is an extremely important episode under with a circumstantial situation that happened a few days ago, which everybody's talking about. Every single news outlet, every single podcaster, talk show host, anything that you can think of, average people, regular people, celebrities have talked about it. This is just the Charlie Kirk assassination. And I've sat back and just took some time to, one, not rush to my thoughts and feelings about it, but also not rushed and just reflected on everybody else's feelings as well to get my own opinion about it. And I want to come to you guys, not just with emotional feelings are all over the place, which some people have done. So I wanted to do the opposite. I wanted to come to you guys with my thoughts and with my reflections thought out well and properly. So getting into it this episode, unfortunately, let me be clear. I am not conservative, obviously. I am not a Republican, obviously. But I want to be clear that no one deserves to be assassinated, no one deserves to be killed, no one deserves to be shot, murdered, any circumstances. No matter, Charlie Kirk was a Republican, Democrat, Independent. He was a man first. He was a husband. He was a father. He was, a family member. He was a son. So I want to be clear, he did not deserve to be assassinated, killed like he was. I wanted to make that be clear. I don't condone any type of violence. I don't condone any situation, doesn't that matter. So I wanted to get that off my chest first. No matter who, no matter if you're a liberal, independent, Republican, no life deserves to be taken from them in that way. Only person or only decision maker of that is the man above. So I wanted to get that disclaimer and make that myself clear. So Charlie Kirk did not deserve to be assassinated no matter who he was. Or respectfully, I shouldn't say but, that's a separate subject. My issue and feelings about the backlash of it is, I have a lot of things to talk to you guys about, but my issues with the backlash and the divisiveness that is causing assassination as a community, as a society. And I have my own opinion about it. Everyone else has the right to feel how they want to feel about it. But I feel this assassination is going to spread us further, separate one side against one side and the other, which I am not in support of. There's no consistency across the board. When two Minnesota Democratic senators and whatsoever were murdered or assassinated Where was the consistency then? Those two senators were children. They had children. They were family members. They were a daughter and they were a son. They were a father and a mother. They were a husband and a wife. They had family members too. So where's the consistency when it comes to political violence in general? I'm not saying one side is versus the other side. No matter if it's assassination, attempted assassination, violence, any type of that nature. Where is the consistency? Both situations are wrong. Both situations are horrific. But when I see all the backlash, all the media, I guess you say one side of people are feeling like Charlie Kirk's murder was the biggest thing, since Martin Luther King died, or it was someone else's assassination, or JFK, whatsoever. I just don't know why they're feeling that way when not just Democrats are being or targeted, the whole entire political spectrum is being targeted. So I don't understand why they are feeling one side, that they're the targets, that they're the only sides being targeted. Why? Where's the consistency? Like, tell me that. Where's the consistency? I'm not trying to be the bad messenger or me playing one side against the other. I'm not doing that. I'm asking a simple question. Where's the consistency? And one thing I'm going to do is, further in this episode, read a few quotes that I found might be very, very helpful, that I've seen, that will make you guys think about if you're one side or one side against the other. So make everyone think about your mindset towards the situation. That's one thing I'm going to do, is I'll read a couple quotes of what I found that might give you guys some more perspective. And I'm also put them on the screen as well, what you guys think about it. I'm trying to be respectful as I can about the situation, because no one deserves to be assassinated or killed in that way. But if someone who doesn't share the same values as Charlie Kirk or anyone from that side, it's important to understand that when you're here and on this heavenly earth, try to do the right thing. Try to, be kind and have integrity of who you are, what you say, what you do. And not here to say that Charlie Kirk was a bad person or a bad man. It's not for me to decide. It's not for me to decide. It's for the man above to decide. But don't sit here and my issue is, don't sit here and get mad at others for not feeling the same way that you do. Let me say that again. Don't get mad at others for not feeling the same way that you do. If you feel like Charlie Kirk was the biggest thing out here and it saved you for everything and gave you everything that you desired, that's your prerogative. That's how you felt. We can only respect that. But don't shame others for people who didn't follow the man, who didn't share the same values. And I'm gonna be clear. This is no disrespect to anybody out there or you guys or anybody who's on the Republican or the right side. I did not know who Charlie Kirk was until he was assassinated. And I'm a proponent who follows the news and the media and the political atmosphere as best I can when I can. I'm one of those people who does. But I'm gonna be honest with you, respectfully. I did not know who Charlie Kirk was until he was assassinated. That might be just me, or it might just be one side, or it might just be that other side that's who he's following. I'm not saying he was a man that had an audience. He had an audience, a targeted audience. His target audience was more people on the right, or Republicans, or conservatives. And like I said, I had to do my research on the man before I even decided to make an episode about it. I didn't know who he was. I'm coming to you guys in a very, very respectful manner. I did not know who he was. But that doesn't negate the fact that he shouldn't have been killed. No man should, or no man or woman, no matter who you are, political atmosphere, whatsoever, or who has a following, who has a way of a channel of reaching consumers and audiences about helping them help influence their way of thinking. No one deserves to be assassinated or killed or murdered in that way. But I stand by that. I stand by that. One side shouldn't be scolding another side for not feeling the same way that they do. Is that fair? Do you think that's fair? If Christian people or people who believe in the good Lord really know what believing in the good Lord and believing in your faith, having strong faith, no, that's not right. You should, and one of the things I wanted to say, another thing that book makes me want to say this too. Just because someone's not a Republican, just because someone is not conservative, doesn't mean that doesn't mean that they're not a Christian. Doesn't mean that they don't believe in heaven, in the Heavenly Father. Doesn't mean they don't believe in the good Lord. Let me say it again. Just because someone's not conservative, not Republican, doesn't mean that they don't believe in faith and the good Lord and the Heavenly Father. And that's one of the things that conservatives and Republicans think they have on one side, independents or Democrats. They think independents and Democrats are so far gone and don't have no way of thinking. And they're completely wrong. Another thing I want to speak on. Where do we go from here? We have a leader that's using this situation to further divide us. Why? If anything, no matter who you follow, what you stand by, your political status, the president, Senate, Congress, you shouldn't be using this situation to further divide one side against the other, and that's what he's doing. The press conference that he did the other night, saying that it's all the radical left's fault and the Democrats, their political. He's wrong. He's wrong. And he knows it's wrong, but he's doing it because, one, he wants to, two, because he can, and three, he knows that's what his base wants him to do, further divide us. That's what he wants them to do. Now, I'm gonna read you a couple of quotes that I feel like might be important for you guys to hear. The first quote, I'm reading these quotes. Let me disclaim, I'm reading these quotes doesn't mean they're my thoughts, but they did catch my eye. So these are not my words. These are quotes that I've seen, which are gonna be on the screen. The first quote: if you want people to have kind words when you pass, you should have kind words when you're alive. I'll say it again. If you want people to have kind words when you pass, you should have kind words when you're alive. That's the first quote. The second one, another author, Melissa Tears, whatsoever, said this: I don't think he should have been killed, but let's remember who this guy was. Say this, that's another quote right there. Another quote. Selective outrage is still hypocrisy. Selective outrage is still hypocrisy. This one I can't say I definitely agree with, because political assassination attempts happen every single day on both sides of the aisle. Just because this man was a little bit bigger than others doesn't mean it's okay to be so feel outraged just for him, but not feel outraged for others who lost their lives. That's hypocrisy. That's being a hypocrite. That's being flat out wrong and flat out being not fair to both sides of the aisle, or having faith in who you are. That's wrong. Why respect one life, yet mockery of another voice? Consistency matters. Our next quote. This one I definitely agree with. Some of y'all are too busy being Republican or Democrat to know this you stopped being decent a long time ago. Let me say it one more time. Some of y'all are too busy being Republican or Democrat to know this you stopped being decent a long time ago. And I could definitely agree with that. A lot of times have changed, not since Joe Biden or Barack Obama, but since George W. Bush, the second Bush. My last quote I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna read this full quote, but it's a little bit long. Put this quote on the screen, so I'm gonna read inserts of it. Stop trying to shame people for not mourning Charlie Kirk. He wasn't just a conservative we disagree with. He was a fascist, an organizer who built his career on spreading racism, misogyny, homophobia, and every other forms you could think of, hate and harming marginalized communities every single day. If you feel compelled to send his family condolences, that's fine. That's your personal choice. But don't turn around and scold others for refusing to shed tears over a man who dedicated his life to dehumanizing, endangering them. This doesn't make you a better person. If you're a Christian, it doesn't make you closer to heaven. It just shows you're not standing for anything. That's part of search of the quote. But people are still saying one side is wrong. And one thing I can respect Charlie Kirk for, I don't know the man, don't follow the man, don't share the same values. He sparked conversation. That's the only thing I respect him for. He didn't mind having conversation, going back and forth with people, hearing each other's views whatsoever. That's one thing I can't respect him for. I don't know the man, never followed the man, I didn't know who he was until a few days ago. Unfortunately, he was murdered and assassinated. But I can't respect him for he sparked conversation. That's all I respect him for. But he didn't deserve the he's a father, he has children. And now this is gonna further divide us. Now it's always until something else magically changes, it's always gonna be one side against the other. He said this, she said that, she said this, he said that. If you're not blue, you can't be. If you're not red, you can't be on this side. If you're not blue, you can't be cordial. If you're not red, you can't be cordial. How does that make sense? It's a deep subject. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna change someone else's how they feel about it. I'm not gonna say someone's gonna change how I feel about it. The situation is horrific, is saddening, but that's how you process it. It's how you reflect on it. Everybody has their own way of reflecting on things, and if dealing with it, with grieving or whatsoever. If you dearly follow the man, you really love them, we're sorry for your loss. I mean, we sad to hear it. But just because we don't, all of us fall to our knees and act like act like we got our gut punched. It's bad news to hear. It's bad, and it's very, very bad. But don't sit there and make someone feel bad because they're not reacting the same way as you are. That's my whole message. Don't make someone feel bad. Don't see someone differently. Don't think someone is a bad person just because they don't react how you want them to react. That's not fair. That's not right. That's not being a good man. That's not being a good woman or a good human. That's not right at all. So maybe if you're a person out there doing that, maybe you should reflect on yourself. Maybe you should look at yourself in the mirror. Maybe you should do some serious thinking. Maybe you should look deep within yourself. Maybe you can look, pray and think about it. Maybe you could pray and think to the good Lord. Maybe you should do that. Maybe you should do that. But again, I want to be clear. He didn't deserve to die. In that way, in that manner, it wasn't the shooter's place or the people who targeted him to do that. It wasn't his place. It was the man above's decision when and if he goes. It wasn't that person's decision. It's nobody's decision when you go. It's up to the man above's. So it's a crazy situation, a different situation. I've never seen so much outrage and spark conversation from a death in a long time. In a very, very long time. And assassination attempts or assassinations are just plain out wrong no matter who they are. Yes, the political landscape is very, very different than it used to be, darker than it used to be, and more divisive than it used to be. But it shouldn't get this bad. It shouldn't get this bad. Honestly, I see how people can't be speeches about because it's like it's too deep to get through and whatsoever. So I wanted to talk to you guys, get this off my chest whenever I could, whenever I felt it was right, and hopefully you guys are reflecting on how you want to reflect on it. Not letting anybody tell you what's right or what's wrong. You let someone give you your opinion about it, but don't let them tell you what to feel. So let's go and end this thing out the right way. This episode the right way. If you're a returning viewer, thank you for tuning in. If you're a new viewer, thank you for tuning in this first episode, a unique episode. And as I always say, stay mellow, keep that mellow mind, stay focused. And as I always say, you got one finger, one pinky, one thumb, one love. Boom.